So about a year ago, I talked about the iPhone 12 Pro Max and kind of explained how weird of an iPhone that is. And today, still in this day and age, it has actually only became a little bit weirder, which is so funny. I was not expecting it to go this direction. However, I will say a lot of issues that I initially had with that device has actually been improved, but that doesn't take away from the weirdness of this device. Now, the first thing I always mention is that this phone was a bigger phone than the iPhone 11 Pro Max, had a bigger display. It was, bigger in size. It was also, I think, thicker, but regardless, that phone, the issue I had with it was that it had a smaller size battery than the iPhone 11 Pro Max. So that was a very, very weird thing. So it sat, in front of a phone. It was supposed to be better than a phone that actually had a bigger size battery. I was not a fan of that at the time. I'm still not a fan of it. And I will say the battery life has gotten much better than I thought, maybe because the 14 Bionic inside of that phone. But the other weird thing about this iPhone is that the successor of this device, which is the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and that iPhone has also such a massive size battery inside of it. It's also giving you a much better battery life, and also it's giving you, I would say, and arguably everyone else would say, a way better display with that 120Hz ProMotion. So this iPhone sits in between an older iPhone with a bigger size battery and a newer iPhone with a way better display, way better camera, just way better everything. So this iPhone sits in between two really good iPhones, one that is a really good priced iPhone at that cheap price tag, and the iPhone 13 Pro Max at a higher price tag, but just so much better in every single way that it really doesn't make too much sense to buy something like the 12 Pro Max. So that's basically the number one thing, that it just sits in between two of these tremendous iPhones that I just cannot stop recommending. Now, I will also add that the 12 Pro Max and the whole entire 12 series, from my experience, also kind of had this, I don't know how to describe it, like a battery health problem. I've talked about it for a long, long time now, pretty much since probably since like month 3 of the iPhone 12's release. And I pretty much saw that the iPhone 12s, pretty much a lot of them, had a battery degradation problem. Now with my 12 Pro Max, at least with the 2 that I've owned, I don't really have too many issues with them, but that doesn't mean you won't have issues with them. For my iPhone 12, I didn't have any issues, but my iPhone 12 Pro gave me so many problems with the battery health, and I will probably say that'll trickle down to a lot of other devices too. We really don't know how long this is going to affect, these many iPhones. Apple did kind of address it. But that also kind of makes this iPhone a little bit of a weirder experience as well. It's not a deal breaker in my opinion, but it is just one of those things to keep in mind. Now, the price of these iPhones has also gone down a little bit more now, so it's not as weird as it used to be, but because it sits in between those two great iPhones, one for a cheaper price and one that's more expensive but has just way better experience with it, but also with that battery degradation problem, it puts this iPhone in kind of an interesting spot. I'll be happy to see what happens with this iPhone in the next few years, but even like the last 2 years, this iPhone is still kind of weird, to be honest. So in terms of that kind of covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.